Welcome G. Let's start Kotlin tutorial. Today I'm going to discuss on class. How in Kotlin you can create a class, how can create an object, and how you can define property inside a class, and what are the way to write setter getter, what kind of constructor Kotlin offer to construct a class. So first thing the basic syntax of Kotlin is if you want to create a class in a Kotlin, so we have to use the keyword the class keyword. The Kotlin define one class keyword. Whenever you are going to declare class inside Kotlin, you have to use this keyword class. Just write a class and class the name. Okay, and your opening braces and the closing braces, here your class body. In this class body you can define your property, you define your function, define your setter getter, each and everything. So the class declaration consists of the class name. This is the class name mandatory, and this is the class keywords, and the class has a header specify the type parameter and the primary constructor. Okay. So class in Kotlin have a concept of two kind of constructor. One is a primary constructor, another is a secondary constructor. Okay. So the class body and surrounding the curly braces, both the header and the body are optional. So here you can write a class simply class and your class name. This is the minimum syntax of a creating class. Kotlin provide an optional thing. If you want to define some body, you can write your curly brace and opening brace and the body. If sometime you don't want, you just want to define the particular types, you can just write a class, and this is the one your class is created. So this is the first way. If you want to just class your like employee. Why? Now this is the class is created. This is the minimum syntax. And so if the class is created, how can create the object and how can use it? So you can create a val object equal to, here you can use emp. Right. Okay, so this is the minimum syntax. Now here you can create your class keyword and your class name, and how to create an object. This is the creating an object, your class name, and this is the mandatory part, open and close parenthesis, so that key Kotlin compiler know here user want to create the object of employee class. Okay, and so this is the way you can create a Kotlin class. This is the minimum syntax. Now your employee object is created. So here in generally other programming language, so this is the, if you want to your class name is invoice and you want to create the object, you just name a class name and your parenthesis, and now you have assigned the particular created object in the reference variable your object. And no, Kotlin does not have any kind of new keywords. In like if you're talking about the language Java, in Java you are going to create a new class, object of a particular class. You have to use the keyword new. But here Kotlin as a no offer any kind of new keyword for developer. Okay, so developer doesn't need to create any kind of a new keyword to create an object of a class. So you can say this is the very minimum syntax in the class. That is the only mandatory. You can use your class name, your class name, and the class keyword and class name, and now you can create the object of that class. Okay, so let's move the part of constructor. While creating the object, uh, we have two concept of constructor. Constructor is a place where you can give the initial value of your property. So a class in the Kotlin have a two kind of constructor. I already discussed. One is the primary constructor and one more is the secondary constructor. So here two kind of constructor you can create. So the primary constructor is a part of your class header. So this is the class header, this is the class header, class name, and this you can pass your number of argument. So it goes after the class name and the optional type parameter. So here we have a option. You sometime you want to primary constructor, then you can pass. If you don't want, you don't pass. So we have options. So here let's I want to here this is let's keep a empty class. Okay, so this is your empty class. Okay, and let's say another example your class let's class person. We have a keyword, there is a keyword constructor, and in this constructor we pass like your first name and your data types of this. So this is the way you can create your now well you can create the person object equal to person, and you have to pass your name, first name, and p. So here is the options you can pass create any class with the primary constructor. So this is the primary constructor with the class name, then your constructor keyword, and your number of argument you can pass, number of 1 2 3 4 anything you can pass. So yeah, this is also have a concept of if the primary constructor does not have any annotations or a visibility modifier, then the constructor can be omitted. So this is the optional things. If you don't want to specify here, you need some kind of annotations like access modifier, yeah, annotations. If not, null or something else, then this is a constructor parameter is mandatory. Else we can leave it without the constructor. You can the show you can write like this way. You don't need to create this constructor. Let's keep person and new one. So in this case you can also write object person new one and this way. So this is the optional, though here without constructor you can create a class as well as. So here if the syntax allow, but this is the optional. So you can just write your class name and your field. So here we have a this is the constructor parameter. If a person class doesn't have any annotation, so you can just skip here, and now you can create the class object using your parameter. This is your constructor. The while creating your customer object or person object, we have given a name, yeah, John Smith, anything. So this is the sometimes while the constructor the primary constructor cannot contain any field, any code. Here we have not any option to write any code. So sometimes uh, you want to do some initialization. So initialization code can be placed in a init block with a which are the prefix with the init keyword. So we have a one init keyword, and where we can give the initialization. Okay, so during the an instance initializer block is executed at the same order as they are appear in the class body. So in the one class you can create, you can say now multiple initialization block, in it one block, in it two blocks, and you have a maybe property one, property two, any property you can define. Okay, so let's have a class in init order. This is your class, and let's give, we have a variable name and we say a string. This is your now here we have option key, you can, let's key define your uh, okay, well, property one, pro, property one, let's, we have defined one variable. Okay, and give some value whatever, proper one, and here we have options with, you can say dollar name. Okay, and we have also method like also this println. So with that this is the option, you can print the value as well as, and here we can write your init block, and here you can write key init block is invoked for dollar name. Okay, also print. So in this way you can now we have options you can create your maybe invoke the object, you have invoke object like abc. So in here this well, a1, let's, and now well a1, and here println a1 dot a1 dot here, this is the, this property you can access here, declare a property, this property you can access here. Okay, so this is the way you can create any number of init block. This is a, this is your initialization block one, uh, but you are able to property value as well as, and then you can declare any number of, you can say a property inside your class. Let's keep property 2, property 2 init 1 to invoke. So here you have a looking, so these two variables also are invoked, init to invoke. So we have options key, you can while the your primary constructor, this is the primary constructor, in this attribute you want to do some initialization, some value, then you can write some code in init block as well as for each object. Whenever you are going to create object, this initialization blocks are executed. Similarly we have options key parameter of the primary constructor can be used in each block. Okay, so this whatever parameter you are passing as a primary constructor, you can, this variable you can use your initialization block or declaring any property as well as. So the general we are creating a customer class and the class name and your primary constructor, and this primary constructor, whatever you constructor value pass, you can initialize your customer property. Okay, so the general way of writing any class like let's see, I want to write a class customer. Customer have a, let's constructor, you want to pass a name, and you say this customer class have a one property like customer name, customer name, and here you can say whatever name pass I can assign, or just all one name to uppercase, you can uppercase you can. So in this way generally now we can create a well customer equal to customer name like John. So now we have a create customer object with a primary constructor, and this customer object, now customer class, can have a property like customer name. You can access the customer name. So this is the generally way to writing your class, your primary constructor, and these are your property. Now you can access the customer name from your object of the customer class. You can access here. But Kotlin also always focus on the concise write a code in so concise way. So you can write this two lines of a declare generally declare of a property inside a class body. So you have option, you can declare a property inside a primary constructor itself. Don't need to go write a body. So here uh, uh, declaring property and initializing them from the primary constructor itself. Kotlin has a concise order. So instead of writing this, you can write simply class person, your first property, first name, second property, last name, and your age. In this way, you can initialize your complete. So, uh, so you can write a class this way. So you don't need to write first your primary constructor, and then you write your all the property name, property 1, property 2, property 3. Both can be combined and right inside the primary constructor itself. Right, class person, let's give we have a here you can define your property. I am define a property your name 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 name. You can define your property like id id. You can define property like age. Okay, so this class person class already defined. Okay, let's give a person 0. So okay, so you can write well person p1 equal to person. Here you can pass all the constructor, like here you can pass Smith, have id like 123, age like 54. Println. So in this way we have options. You can write your class name, and the in the primary constructor itself you define a property 1, property 2, property 3. You don't need a write a this is not mandatory. You write a body pub class and then declare a property 1, property 2, property 3. All the property you can declare inside your primary constructor itself. In short, you can say Kotlin offer to create class, not a creating class but directly just defining the your constructor, primary constructor. So in class Kotlin you are defining just primary constructor. Now your class itself created with the primary constructor, and you are created and you can create an object. You can create a multiple object. Okay, person 2, person 3, any person you can create. Team id 1 2 3 4, age your let's key 423. So this is the way Kotlin offer. You can write class is so concise way. You can write your class and class name and all the property whatever class you can't define. You can write inside constructor, property 1, property 2, property 3. Be note here you are in the while defining a property inside your body. This is your constructor parameter. You are actually not the property. This name you cannot access from your customer object. If you are trying to say here print then customer dot name, you are trying to access this is the this name, this is the not this name is the not your property, but here this name is your. Here you can access, here you can access dot name, here you can access dot age. Okay, so while in the whenever you different define your property inside the constructor, you have to provide option. Your variable is the mutable or immutable. So if you are define the val means immutable variable. This is your class property. You can access from object. From object you can access. From object you can access this. Okay, but here in the case of primary constructor, you are not defining a property. You are just constructor parameter you are passing name. The name is not property. Here you are defining the inside class body property one. The property, this is the property you can access here, but this is the constructor argument. You can constructor parameter cannot your property of a class. The be ensure whenever you are going to define your class property, you have to specify your modifier like your while or bar keyword. Then compiler understood key you are defining the property for this class inside a primary constructor. Okay, so this is the not your property of a customer class. This is the property of a customer class. Correct. The be ensure whenever you want to define the property, you have to specify your while keyword or bar keyword, so that Kotlin compiler know okay, this is the your class property, and you can access class property by your object name, object dot. So this is the way, a very concise way you can write your class with not only class with a primary constructor. You can define a primary constructor with your class property, class property, class property. And if your constructor has some annotation, your visibility modifier, then this constructor parameter is mandatory. Like here you want to inject some variable, some value in the your class, your customer class, then at that time so the constructor keyword is the parameter mandatory, you can say. So now let's about talk about the secondary constructor. Till now we have a talk about the primary constructor. So there is a concept of secondary constructor. Okay, class can also consider a secondary constructor. So which is the prefix like a constructor. So we have to, if you want to define the constructor, primary constructor you can pass with your class after class name and pass your primary constructor. But secondary constructor always go inside your class body and write your constructor and number of argument you want. Okay, so in this way you can define a secondary constructor. And we have options. If the class has a primary constructor, and each secondary constructor need to delegate to the primary constructor, so either directly or indirectly through the secondary constructor. So delegation to the another constructor in the same class is during this keyword. So sometime we have defined a primary constructor, secondary constructor. I want to invoke from constructor 1 to constructor 2 in the same class. Constructor chaining you can say. So in this situation, you have to use your concept of your constructor delegation. Constructor delegate to another constructor, that is using done by this keyword, and this is the column. Okay. So let us here define the look. Let's define a class. Let's key ABC class. Let's key we have defined a primary constructor. Let's this take a input name as a string. Okay. This is the primary constructor. Now you can define the secondary constructor parameter, and here you can take some variable like age. Let's key age instead of writing simple class a b c abc, and that take your one variable I, that's key integer. Okay, and we have defined secondary constructor, and here let's key I want to take a j variable. Okay, here. So whenever you are going to define secondary constructor, you have to invoke the primary constructor. So how to invoke? Here you write to your, this is secondary constructor colon and keyword this, and primary constructor one argument you have to pass your method, right? And here primary constructor, let's give. So this, say, okay, why this is saying you have already one primary constructor with one argument, so you cannot define again one argument constructor. You have to define different data types. Here you are overloading. So in this case you can say if you're passing the uh yeah, this is option. Yeah, omit, not understood, but you can option just check your constructor invoke second constructor. So we have options. This is primary constructor and this is the secondary constructor. If you just create the object of abc class, oh sorry, while your a one equal to, let's key ab abc, and here pass primary constructor like one. So your primary your constructor is created, and if you uh, let's keep pass secondary constructor, you want to pass like 1 comma 3. So you in this case your secondary constructor invoke, and secondary constructor chain to their primary constructor as well as. So in the particular way you have option the create multiple constructor in. Okay, this is the also this you cannot access here. So in this way constructor so this is the way you can write different constructor, you can say. The constructor chaining can access from your keyword like this. So let's example like a class xy. Okay, and let's key we have not defined any primary constructor. Let's key or define your one while a, and let's type your int types, and let's give we have another property like a define while b or int types, we have a two. So this is the define inside the constructor. So you have an option, you can define your secondary. Let's say I'm define the constructor with the default argument. Okay, So here you have to, let's give we have a one constructor with your one argument. Okay, let's give we have another constructor with two argument. Okay, we have. So here now whenever let's key I want key this constructor invoke, then the one argument constructor invoke, so I can say this I can pass, or here you can say I want to pass this must do variable initialize with invoke, let's key default value 00 comma, so you can invoke your this. And similarly let's here you can invoke this like I, and then I comma I you can pass. So here I don't want this way. So here you have to, in this is where constructor chaining happen. So here you can say a equal to, let's say this is the default constructor, 0, b equal to 0. What say? Okay, this is the cannot where cannot define what you again saying, must be initialized, okay, inside the constructor. So here say your I and your j. Okay, here you can just invoke, here you can say if you not pass any constructor, so you can pass this way, so you cannot net it here. So what we are trying to say here, let's just invoke the uh, constructor invoke. Okay, constructor is called, do I just check the chaining dot also. Okay, let's say this is the default argument, this is the one argument, and this is the two argument. This is the just dollar I comma dollar j. So similarly you can say here dollar I only, here you know argument. So in this way we have options key for we can create, now we you can create the class of uh, this xy, you can create the class of xy which is the default argument, we are not passing anything, this is the default argument here invoke. If you run, this is your default argument constructor invoke. If and then in default invoke your this is the two argument constructor with the 00, so value is a 00 initialize, right? You have option, you can invoke with the by like one value. So in this way your constructor invoke one argument, the your one argument invoke and then one to pass to 1010, the second argument also invoke. So your both variable are initialized in the second argument, right? So similarly you can declare you can invoke the three argument constructor. Okay, so here you are directly invoking initialize ab with the 00. So in this way you can say we have to constructor chaining happen using the this keyword. Okay, so whenever you want to invoke the same class constructor, you have to use the this keyword here, this keyword invoke this constructor, this keyword invoke this constructor. The same we have and also we have options you can declare your init block, initialization block as well as in the constructor. Okay, so in each constructor you can write your init block, some initialization you want, you can write your init block as well as. So here you can write your init block here, say init block. You can print the value. You can check the initialization block are executed. For each object, whenever we are creating an object, this initialization block is executed. Initial block are executed initially. So sometime we want to do so we have option key for each object to this init blocks are executed. So this is the way you can write. So sometime you want to our constructor should we have options. You can check your constructor can access the private public modifier. So in the case of your non-abstract class does not declare any constructor with a primary or secondary, it will be generate the primary constructor with no argument. So visibility of this constructor will be public. If you don't want your class to have a public constructor or declare an empty primary constructor, then we have options. You can set your constructor as a private, so you can restrict the constructor can be public and private. Okay, so here we have options key. Let's key I want to this should be this constructor should be your private. You can option private. So whenever you mark a private constructor, this is not allowed. This is not allowed to invoke. But your this constructor internal constructor can invoke a default argument. Okay, so in this way we have options to modify the constructor, maybe constructor public, private, and protected. We have options you can do. Okay, so let's key we have a options key. We can define the Kotlin property in the Kotlin classes can be declared using the bar keyword or your val. If you want to declare some modifiable variable, then you can use the bar keyword. And if you want to declare some immutable variable, that then you can use your val keyword. And to use this property, how to access this property? This property can access by its name. In this case here, I want to take an let's key object well x equal to this, and you can say println x dot. That's either your you can access your bro. AB you can access. In this way, all the property can access all the property of a particular class can be accessed from your object name dot property 1 property 2. So this help us to access your property. So we have two places you can define your property. In the class body, in the go to the class body and declare your property 2, property 3, property 4, property 5. Or we have options same you can declare inside your primary constructor itself. So whatever Kotlin offer the both way. So sometimes let's give ever defining some property. I want to provide some kind of a getter setter. So how to Kotlin support? How can provide you getter and setter? The general syntax of your getter and setter. Your maybe bar your val keywords in your property name and your property types and your default value, initial value. What is the initial value? And after that you can write your getter or you can write your setter. So initializer, yeah, you can say getter setter are optional. So this is also optional. This is also optional. So generally whenever we are defining any data types as a your val keyword, that means there is no immutable variable, there is no concept of your setter. So if you are define like here, if you define your val any data types, so this is your variable name, property name, your val, this is immutable. Once times you are initialize, after that we have not any option to provide the setter method, so only default getter method is available. So for if you want to your keyword as a bar keyword, then you have two options, you can declare setter and getter. So be clear key your read only property differ from their mutable one. Okay, that is due to their val keyword and var keyword. So bar keyword, you have option, you can define more own setter method as well getter method. In the case of uh, val immutable variable, you can only declare a getter, don't need a setter. Okay, does not allow setter for your val keyword. So general syntax, how we'll do. So you can this is a, let's give it a val keyword, and you define your variable name, your data types, and you can define your getter. And you know Kotlin can have a automatic infer the data types. Okay, infer automatic infer data type. So with the help of this logics, this is the they return a boolean value. So this you can omit. So you can write simply this is your property is empty and your getter method. And here you can just have options, you can not provide any data type. This data types of this variable is automatically inferred by your Kotlin compiler. So similarly you have a options, you want to provide kind of some setter. So these are two keywords used, one is the get, one is the set. This is the getter for you this variable, and this is the setter for you this variable. And getter, whatever you want to get, they want to return complete to string, or if you want to set some value, you're going to set value. And here the whatever on this value whatever you want to, some parsing, some condition check, anything else you have options, you can do on the setter and getter. You have options, you can also kind of set the particular setter can be private, or the access modifier you have options, you can set options some setter getter, you cannot do any kind of a public, your internal method can set some value but not outside. So we have options, you can provide access modifier private as well as so let's here let's give, we have a this is the constant variable. Now here I want to provide some kind of a setter getter. So we have go and just leave it, we have another variable, let's key class test. Okay, and test class, let's key have a one property val val property p1. Okay, so p1 declare, let's key this is the in data types. And what is the default value, let's key this is the default value, like you want to set 100 10. So here you are trying to say, now I want to, here if you say well test equal to test, and here you can just create object, and here print ln print, and here t a t dot, you can access your property p1. So by default Kotlin offer this this is the your val keyword, the by default getter offer here. But how you know getter invoke, let's key I want to, so you can say get, and just you write here getter invoke or not, here say println call getter. Okay, so you can ensure by default, you can, let's key here return value your field. Okay, so in this way you can if you run, now you can say this is the call with your the value there. So this is the call. So this is the way, this variable p1 we have a field one, we have a getter. If you want to provide kind of some setter, then you can provide some setter set. But you have for your this keyword you cannot provide any setter, so you have to need another that let's give, we have a define, let's just change your bar keyword, and let's keep property 2. Let's keep this is the int type, you are defining like a 20 default value. And for getter, you have options getter, and return your getter. Okay, getter p2 getter. Okay, yeah, this is the your property 1 getter, property 1 getter. So now we have a here is the your bar keyword. So we can you can also set your setter. So you have the option set and set, and the set we have options. So you can set fill equal to the new value. Here you can write here setter with the dollar, with dollar what the value for fill p2 equal to dollar p2. Okay, this is the your after set. Okay, before after p2's before set, or just check your invoke before what and after that, before after. So if you run, there is a no, actually you have not, you are not going to access your p2, so this is not invoked to p2. But you why? Okay, let's key I just here I want to how println test object I want to access p2. So whenever you are trying to p2, the your p2, this p2 p2 getters are invoked. Okay, p2 getters are invoked. Sometime you want to set how to set the value. Let's say I want to set value test dot p2. I want to set the value like 34. Okay, and after that you will just print it. So in this way your custom setter, here your setter is no now your setter is initially that initially value was 20 and then you change the 34. So here we have option. Let's see, if you want to say here this value, can you write minus? Okay, the minus value. Let's see, I want key this property value never cannot be minus. But so here we have options. You can apply any kind of logic. If say if uh, if your value, if your value greater than 0, then you have to only set it. Okay, so all kind of business logic you have to write here. So now you cannot set your negative value. So this way you have options. You can apply common your business logics, your setter getter, your this is the getter or this is the setter, and setter you can put any business logic to whatever you want. For a setter you must ensure that you are going to only check your bar keyword. Bar keyword is the mutable, or your val keyword is immutable, so that you cannot change any value. Okay, so please be ensured whenever you are going to provide the setter for only a mutable variable, not the your immutable variable. And the here is the one concept, this is the field. What is the field? So if we are, this is known as your backing field. Okay, the Kotlin field is only used as a part of your property to hold the value in memory. Okay, and so field cannot be declared directly. However, when a property field is needs a backing field, Kotlin provides it automatically. The backing field can be referenced in the your accessor method in the like a field identifier. So here this field you are referring to your this property. So property have a actual the field. The field is the refer as the field identifier. So Kotlin not directly offer you define the field. Always prefer you define the property. If you need to access your generally field is the that is the placeholder where you are storing your value. So that can be accessed from the field identifier. So be ensure that if you try to here, let's you are trying to say ki here I'm not going to use the field. Here you have to change the value, store value, all the value of store any property in a particular field. So we have to access the variable field. What you are trying to say, let's comment out here. You are trying to say ki our value, you can say our p2 p, in this way you are trying to say set. So this, let's what happen, Kotlin does not this is the, so let's key we have passed some positive value first. Let's key I pass like t dot p2 equal to uh, 1 to 3, and then let's check. Now your condition is true. Now condition true. Down this is you are getting exceptions. Okay, so please be ensure that you cannot manually, you cannot Kotlin not offer you change the particular field is actually storage. You can, if you want to change the sub particular field value, then you have to use the field keyword. This is the backing field. Now they Kotlin internally going to the change the value of this property p2. You Kotlin not offer you directly change. So please be ensure whenever you are providing a setter, you want to change the field value, then you have to use the keyword field internally bound to the what is the property value. So if in this way it will be changed, it will be changed to 1 to 3. So this is the concept of a backing field. Kotlin offer field is the only used to as a part of a property to hold its value. So okay, property hold the value. You want to manually change the value, you have to use the field keyword directly. This property p2 variable are cannot access this field. So whenever you want to going change your particular property value, then you have to use the backing field, that is named as a field identifier. And similarly we have a backing property. You can or we can also, if you want to do something that do not fit in the particular implicit backing field, so you can always fall back to your backing property as well as. So here you can say our one variable map, and that is the sorry, excuse me. So here you have a manually specify your getter and check the particular and this is the field equal to your initialization manually, and then you can check it is initialized or not initialized. So you have options you can manually do in the backing property. Here in the property you can initialize. In this way we have a some reference variables where you can manually specify. In the case of a hash map, manually we want to initialize this hash map with a particular default value. So this type parameter you can manually. So in this way backing a field and backing property, the concept Kotlin offer. So till now here we have to discuss about the class syntax. We have a simple very concise class syntax. You write your class and the class name, and that is sufficient. And you have options. You can initialize the class property with a primary constructor or secondary constructor. We have option primary constructor, secondary constructor. If you are overloading multiple constructor 1, constructor 2, constructor 3, so constructor chaining happen using the dot and this keyword invoke the same class constructor, use the this keyword. Okay, and you can also define your property not only inside your class body. You are defining property 1, property 2. You have options, you can define property inside your directly primary constructor. Okay, this is the very concise code you can write to class with the help of only just you can primary constructor that help us. And the last we have discussed about the concept known as your backing field. Backing field are options where the if manually you are providing the setters and getter for a particular property. So if your property is your val keyword, so you can only provide your getter. If your property is the var keyword, so we have option you can provide your setter method as well as getter method. So while setter method, if you want to change the particular property value, then you have to use the backing field, your field keyword. Field keyword is referred to your actual property value, and you can use the backing field to manually set, yeah, check some conditions, the particular property only this kind of restrictions, not allow negative value. You cannot value more than particular conditions. So if you have you want to check some conditions, then manually you have to provide the setter. And one things you can also do, you can offer the particular setter getter can be private. So here you say ki, I don't want set, anyone can set the value. So you can write your access modifier private. So if you write a private setter getter, then this no one can here, no one can here allow to set this value. So you have options, you can control your mechanism, you can provide the modifier public private protected. In this way, you can say we have provided the setter method, but I don't want to anyone can access. Maybe internal, maybe set different setter getter can access. So that is the short concise way to writing a class in the Kotlin. Hope it's give some background since how Kotlin offer the different way to writing class, very concise way, not writing complete class with the body. You have writing Kotlin class just like a primary constructor. In the primary constructor, you can define your property, all the property if you want. And for you, your Kotlin compiler provide the setter getter by default to you. If you need manually setter getter, you can Kotlin offer a platform, offer a place where you can manually define your constructor, your setters and getter. And you have to ensure you can option, you can also restrict the access modifier private access as the constructor level or the private your manually setter getter level. So you have options, you can in constructor you can define a property or you cannot define a property. So lots of permutation combination here available, you can do. So just you play with this kind of a multiple concept, and that help us to get a better understanding how Kotlin offer to create class in a different mechanism, different way. Okay, so hope it's useful for you, and in the last I would like to say thank you for watching this video.